Thank you so much. Well, I share the sentiments of the other speakers, very great people. Professor Tai is my lecturer, and Kabir has been someone that we work so much with. But I want to pick on the issue of the anti-terrorism issues that he talked about, which to me are most times where there have been violent conflict over a period of time, or mass atrocities have been committed over a period of time. The people become the most important component of whether those atrocities, violent conflict continues, or there is even a solution, and how sustainable that solution becomes. So, like we've heard, 7 years and the pattern and so on. So it all boils down to what we are doing at the community level, community-based security processes or activities and so on. What is the awareness that is being created, how preemptive that society is, and what are the measures that are put in place? Like we saw, the bombers might be people from within, known by the people maybe, and so there's that, I wouldn't call it laxity, but then you wouldn't expect that it's coming. But then that is what they take opportunity, or the gap that is being exploited. So whenever you're moving from violent conflict, maybe very hostile situation, to where we are in Borno, where there are talks about stabilization, people are being reintegrated or rehabilitation, we shouldn't forget the fact that there will be hardliners on both sides, or both sides of the conflict and so on. People that want this to continue. And those people will do everything possible. And when I say people with all sense of humility, it could be on all sides. It could be on the terrorist side and the counter-terrorism side of it, because of various reasons, the benefits people are getting, and so on. So there, and other interests, of course. So those are things that we have to look at. Who are the spoilers? We have to kind of segment them and say, okay, these spoilers, what are they capable of doing? What can they do? Then when we do that and kind of say, then we can now come up with measures that will, but if we think that everybody, both both sides, everybody will be happy with what is going on, and that this peace is gradually returning, people are picking up their pieces and getting back to this, then it will show that we are a bit naive about the entire thing. And these are reasons, even in all studies, that shows that there is possibility of relapse in every situation. So you have to watch out consistently, or continuously watch out for that, while the kinetic actions are going on, looking at what are the root causes. They have to be addressed. What are the root causes? How do you strengthen communities so that they take responsibility for their own security, and they take responsibility for ensuring that the process moves on? And what are those things that can be done? How do you support those communities? So it is at a stage that I think, with all the measures that are put in place, that the community becomes the major focus. Even the reintegration that we're talking about, how well are we doing that reintegration? How well is the community very much involved in a way that we know that there will be true reintegration, and kind of transitional justice mechanisms? Because, I mean, let's face it, when there are mass atrocities, people have been affected. They know the people that committed these heinous crimes. I'm talking about generally now, when you're trying to, so what do you do? Is it enough for people to say, okay, well, we have rehabilitated them somewhere, and we're bringing them back to join you, the community? What is that grievance? Because the people who lost their loved ones are still there boiling, even if they cannot say anything, but they're there. So beyond what is happening, beyond the rehabilitation, what are the efforts to ensure that there is some level of accountability? Because that is what people are looking for. If you have lost your loved one, you want to see some level of, even if it's something like an open apology by that person, the perpetrator, whom sometimes you know. So we have to adopt those. That's going forward, I mean, beyond this, so on, and so that we have something that is viable, something that is sustainable, so that we don't have a relapse into back to where we're coming from. Studies have shown that most of this, they relapse within the first 5-7 years. So how do we avoid that? How do we avoid going back? Because it's from that pool of disgruntled or kind of people that are not happy, that the pool of that the Boko Haram get, even this would be suicide bombers or even the cadres that they work with. So the community for me is very key. For community that at this level, a lot of anti-terrorism activities, as Dr. Adamu has clearly stated, I think should be the focus. Of course, not, downplaying the issue of the kinetic. We have seen that, and we have seen that it has worked very well. Now let's work on the communities, the community part of it. For me, that's what would stop.
Yes, so working on the community, but I need to ask you this question. Was security sort of relaxed?
Well, it's human, or especially in this part of the country. I mean, let's face it, when things start getting normal, you find out that the SOPs and so on begin to, either as individuals or communities, will begin to relax. In the past, every event that you went to here, there were measures, physical measures put in place to ensure that we do not have the likelihood of that, because people were kind of up to tax and so on. So there's that aspect of being relaxed. Normalcy is returning. People feel that they're going back to their normal activities and so on and so forth. So, and that is what the hardliners, if I'll call them, or the spoilers from Bollywood can take opportunity of. That gap, the feeling that people are relaxed, nobody, look at the choice of targets. It's where people are congregated. First you talk about the wedding ceremony, then the prayer session or the funeral, then the hospital that those people are. So it was, they knew that this is what would be. If this, then there will be this, then there will be. So we need to also be ahead of the game to kind of anticipate. And in the past, some of these measures were being put in place, where if they were, so yes, there's the level of people feeling slightly relaxed because over a period of time, this have not happened. But as he has said, that there's been this trend, and we must work with the people like them that have the capacity to analyze these issues. Because everything that happens does not happen in a vacuum. And until we're able to relate A and B and relate and see what is the trend or what is, then we will miss out a lot of things. That is the only way we can project and anticipate and therefore act in advance to forestall and prevent these issues from happening.